Oh, hello everybody. Welcome to Garland World Book Day. Did you know that World Book Day has been running since 1995? That's right. How many years is that? 26. Well done. Now, World Book Day this year is looking a little bit different. Some of you are working at home, some of you are working at school, but that's okay. But normally, we love to celebrate World Book Day in style here at Garland, and this year is no different, okay? Remember, you can still dress up as your favourite character and join your teachers for Zoom lessons this coming Thursday. Or, if you're coming into school, you may choose to wear your World Book Day character then as well, okay? And do lots of fun activities with your teachers this week. Also this year, we've decided to take part in the Coram Beanstalk competition. Now the Coram Beanstalk competition enables you to paint, craft or draw your favourite book character, and once you've done that, if you take a picture of it and you ask your grown-up to tag your picture on social media, before midnight on this Thursday, World Book Day, you might be in with a prize. You might be in with a chance of winning a prize of up to £500. So give it a go and the very best of luck. The last thing I want to talk to you about before I share the story for today is the World Book Day tokens. Now, normally everybody in school gets a World Book Day token which is to the value of £1. And this year, there are 12 different stories that you can choose from. You may, or if you want to, put that £1 voucher towards a different book that you've been saving up for. But you might want to choose one of the 12 titles that are on offer alternatively. Okay? But go and check out what books you can choose from on the World Book Day website. Okay? And your teachers have got all of those ready to give back to you when you come back to school next week. Right, so every year we have the opportunity to read a story together, and I don't think we should miss out on that this year. So the story that I've chosen this year is the story of the little mole who knew it was none of his business. This is a great story. Miss Beaumont recommended this story. So, one day, the little mole poked his head out from underground to see whether the sun had already risen. Then it happened. It looked like a little sausage, and the worst thing was that it landed right on his head. "How mean!" cried Little Mole. "Who has done this on my head?" But he was so short-sighted, being a mole, that he couldn't see anyone around. Oh dear. "Did you do this to me?" he asked the dove, who was flying past. "Me? No! How could I do with it? How could I do it like this?" the dove answered. And splish plish, a moist white blob landed on the ground right next to the little mole. His right leg was splashed with a little bit of white. Ugh. "Did you do this to my head?" he asked the horse, who was grazing in a nearby pasture. "Me? No, how could I do this?" the horse replied. And flump plump, 5 big fat horsey apples popped down within a hair's breadth of the mole. He was very impressed with the size. "Did you do this to my head?" he asked the hare. "Me? No! How could I do it? I do it like this," said the hare. And rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat, 15 little round beans shot past the mole's ears. He saved himself with a daring leap. I wonder who did this to the mole. Did you do this to my head? He asked the goat, who had been dreaming a little bit. Me? No. How could I do it like this? She replied. And plippity-plop, a pile of toffee-coloured little balls tumbled on the grass next to the mole. The little mole found them, almost a little bit appealing. Did you do this to my head? He asked the cow, who was chewing on the cud. Me? No. How could I? I do it like this. And kaplosh! A big brownish green pancake flopped into the grass just next to the mole. He was very relieved that it hadn't been the cow who had done something on his head. And looking at that, I don't blame the mole. Big cowpat like that. Did you do this to my head? He asked the pig. Oink, oink. No. How could I do it? I do it like this, replied the pig. And plop, splat, a little soft brown pile fell on the grass. The mole held his nose. Oh, stinky! Did you do this on my... He was going to ask the question, but as he came closer, he saw only two big, fat, black flies, and they were eating. At last, someone will be able to help me, the little mole thought. Who did this to my head? He asked with anticipation. Keep nice and still, buzzed the flies. There was a very short pause, and then it is clear to us that it was a dog. Finally, the little mole had the answer that he'd been looking for. He knew who had done the business on his head. Basil, the butcher's dog. I wonder what little mole will do. Doesn't look very happy. Quick as a flash, he climbed on top of Basil's kennel, leant over the side, and pling! A tiny black sausage landed right on top of Basil's head. Look, he pooed on Basil's head. Satisfied at last, the little mole disappeared happily into his underground. Did you enjoy that story? So if you want to read it, that's called The Story of the Little Mole Who Knew It Was None of His Business. Okay? And Mr. Cope and Mrs. Northrop and Mr. Williams, they've let me buy lots of new books for our school. So when you come in and you look in your book corners, you will notice that there are lots of new reading books to choose from in the corner of your room. Okay? So, I'm going to go now. Okay? But I look forward to seeing you dressed up on Thursday. I look forward to seeing your work, and hopefully some of your work can make its way onto the library, which is where I currently am now in Key Stage 2. Or if you're in Key Stage 1, it could end up in the Key Stage 1 library, which I know that Mr. Lotter and some of the other people are decorating at the moment. Okay, so see you later, see you next week, look forward to seeing you, bye.